Have you ever had one of those days where everything feels heavy, but you can't explain why? You're doing all the right things. You're showing up, being strong, pushing forward. But deep down, there's this quiet question echoing inside you. Is this going to be worth it? If that's you, pause, breathe, because what you're about to hear isn't motivation, it's remembrance. The ancient Stoics had a kind of faith that didn't depend on anyone else, not the world, not timing, not outcomes. It was the kind of faith rooted in discipline, in the belief that if I stay true to my path, if I show up with honesty, with courage, with calm, life will meet me there. Marcus Aurelius faced wars, betrayal, loss, and deep loneliness. And yet he wrote, "No one can hinder you from living in accordance with your own nature, so be faithful to that." He didn't look outside for reassurance. He looked within. That's real faith. The kind that keeps you standing when everything else shakes. And if your soul needed this today, tap like, not for the algorithm, but because this hit somewhere real. Hit subscribe if you're ready to start building a life that doesn't beg for peace, but creates it from within. We're just getting started. This is your moment to remember. Your faith will reward you, not someday, but now, in who you become and how you rise. Lesson 1. Stay committed, even when you can't see the results. Let's be honest. We live in a world that worships instant results, fast feedback, quick wins. If we don't see progress right away, we assume something's wrong. We question the path, or worse, we question ourselves. But Marcus Aurelius, through war, loss, sickness, and political betrayal, kept showing up every single day. Not because things were going perfectly, not because life gave him guarantees, but because he believed this simple, powerful truth: who you are becoming matters more than what you're receiving right now. Do not grow weary in giving your best. Even if no one sees it, you are still shaping your soul. Inspired by Marcus Aurelius. The Stoics didn't tie their faith to results, they tied it to principle. They trusted that doing the right thing calmly, consistently, with integrity, would carry its own reward, even if the world didn't clap for it. And here's the shift: when you stop needing immediate proof that it's working, and you start trusting in your effort, your growth, and your alignment with virtue, everything changes. You stop chasing and start becoming. So if you're tired, but your heart's still in it, keep going. Stay faithful to the path, because one day you'll look back and realize that quiet commitment made you unshakable. Lesson 2. Surrender what you can't control, and watch what happens. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius, that's where real faith begins. Not in needing everything to go your way, but in trusting that you don't have to force everything to go your way. You can breathe, you can focus on your part, you can release the rest. It's not giving up, it's growing up. Because something powerful happens when you stop clinging to outcomes. You become light, clear, unbothered. And suddenly the same world that once overwhelmed you begins to feel less personal, less like an attack, and more like a process. Faith, in the Stoic sense, isn't about crossing your fingers. It's about doing your part fully, then trusting the universe to unfold as it will. So today, ask yourself, what am I trying too hard to control, and what would it feel like to let it go and just do my part with full heart? Because that kind of surrender, that's not weakness, that's Stoic strength, and yes, your faith will reward you for it. Lesson 4. Be honest with yourself. Integrity is the foundation of faith. You can't fake inner peace. You can't hustle your way into self-respect, and you can't plant seeds of dishonesty and expect a harvest of clarity. One of the most underrated teachings of Stoicism is this: real faith begins with being brutally honest with yourself. Not in a harsh, self-critical way, but in a courageous, clear-eyed kind of way. The kind of honesty that asks, am I living the way I know I should? Because if there's a gap between what you believe in and how you actually live, that gap will eat away at you. Silently, slowly. Even if no one else sees it, you feel it. And the Stoics knew that inner conflict was one of the greatest enemies of peace. Marcus Aurelius never claimed to be perfect. In fact, most of Meditations is him holding himself accountable, checking his ego, calming his anger, reminding himself to return to what matters. That's integrity, not perfection, but alignment. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one. Marcus Aurelius, when you live in alignment with your values, when your actions match your principles, something shifts. You stop feeling like you're hiding from yourself. You stop second-guessing. You stop searching for validation. Why? Because you trust yourself again. And that is a powerful kind of faith. The reward isn't always something external. Sometimes it's the simple, steady feeling of finally being proud of the person you are becoming. So if something's been tugging at you lately, a habit, a decision, a compromise, listen to that. Don't run from it. Lean into it. Make the quiet correction. Because nothing is more powerful than a person at peace with their own conscience. That's Stoic faith in action. And yes, it will reward you. Lesson 5. Move forward. Even when you're afraid. Fear doesn't mean stop. Here's something nobody really says out loud. Faith and fear often show up at the same time. Most people think they have to feel ready before they take the next step. That once they've eliminated all doubt, all fear, all uncertainty, then they'll move. But that's not how real progress happens. And it's not how the Stoics lived. They understood something most of us forget. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's moving forward despite it. Marcus Aurelius was surrounded by war, disease, betrayal, and political pressure. Do you think he didn't feel fear? Of course he did. But he still wrote, still led, still lived in accordance with his principles. That's Stoicism in action, trusting the process more than the emotion of the moment. If it is endurable, then endure it. Stop complaining. Marcus Aurelius, Stoic. Faith is quiet. It doesn't shout confidence. It whispers commitment. It says, I may not know how this will go, but I trust myself to face it. That's a decision you can make even with your hands shaking. The truth is, your fear doesn't mean stop. It just means you're stretching. And often the fear is loudest right before the breakthrough. That's when faith matters most, not blind optimism, but the grounded belief that whatever happens, you will not abandon yourself. So if you've been waiting to feel ready, waiting for certainty, waiting until you're fearless, don't. Go now. Step forward with shaky hands and a steady heart, because the reward isn't just on the other side of the fear. The reward is who you become by walking through it. That's the Stoic path. And if you stay faithful to it, life always answers, in time and in strength. Lesson 6. Embrace the struggle, growth. Often arrives disguised as difficulty. Let's be honest, when things get hard, our first instinct is to resist. Why is this happening? What did I do wrong? When will it get better? But the Stoics would gently shake their heads and say, this is the way, keep going. Marcus Aurelius, in the middle of war, sickness, and political chaos, didn't ask, why me? He asked, what can I do with this? And that question, or that mindset, changed everything. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Marcus Aurelius. That's one of the most powerful Stoic teachings of all time, because it flips the narrative. Struggle isn't a detour, it's the path. And faith, real faith, is when you keep walking it, even when it hurts, even when you can't see the end, even when it feels like nothing is changing. You see, growth rarely shows up dressed like victory. It shows up as discomfort, challenge, pressure. But what if that pressure isn't here to break you, but to build you? The Stoics believed that adversity reveals who we are. It's a mirror, a sharpening stone. And when you stay faithful through it, not perfect but present, you come out the other side clearer, stronger, wiser. So if you're struggling right now, don't run from it, don't numb it, don't curse it, look it in the eye. Say, you're not here to stop me, you're here to shape me. That shift is everything, because when you stop fighting the hard moments and start working with them, your faith doesn't just survive, it evolves. And eventually you realize the struggle wasn't in the way, it was the reward.